Pourquoi must I reconnect Trello every 3 days? I have to open it on my tablet. Whoa. There's an app. Wait for the Trello app to load on my cheap tablet. Why is my camera so small? Guys, MD. Center vertically. No, why does it do that? I can't tell if it's all the way over. What I could do, use my mouse keys. Mouse keys are OP sometimes. Okay. Trovo. Gotta keep an eye on my phone charge. $79%. Jesse Lee Peterson is live. What? That's an old notification. Apparently. I can't see my Trello chat very well. Welcome to CLC's chat room. Fix you. Motion means dirt. Regular means costly. Seek means search for. This gets very hard eventually. I don't think I ever signed up. Because every new device you get to start over and it's easier, and that means it's easier when you start over. Castle means fortress. Illegal means unlawful. Immediately means right away. Buh. %90 opacity. Dispose. Pricey. Elevation. Limited. Generate. Medallion. Broadcast. Trench, ditch. Circle, surround. Questionable. Doubt. Outwardly. External. Drastic. Severe. Hypothesis. Theory. My bowl is filling up. Twitch means jerk. Bodily. Physical. Debris. Rubbish. Bully. Intimidate. Symmetry. Balance. Literate. Able to read and write. Bookish. Studious. Scrape. Great. Demoralize. Discourage. Dunce. Simpleton. Dutiful. Obedient. Perceptive. Observant. Slack. Loose. Accent. Or accent. Accentualize, is that a word? Accentation. Pivot, swivel. Portrayal, depiction. Resurrect, revive. Spasmodic, convulsive. Preliminary, introductory. Rupture, break. Deficient, lacking. Impressionable, easily influenced. Fraudulence. Deceitfulness. Deletion, erasing. Diction, wording. Maltreat. Is it inhibit or abuse? Nobody's here. Somebody help me. fun to stay at the YMCA. Fun to stay at the Y. Is this so hard? So maltreat sounds more like abuse than inhibit. But inhibition could be abuse. Nourishment, sustenance, expend, use up. Melancholy, gloomy. Methodical, systematic. Galore, in abundance. Perpetrator, culprit. Hangdog. What is hangdog? I would assume it's not terrific. Probably can't refresh that with it actually loading. Why are my eyes all goofy? Hang dog. And shamefaced apparently. Allege, assert. Bonsai. Smoltry. Infidel, unbeliever. Venue, location. My bowl empty again. Backhanded means indirect. Frankly means candid. Cornucopia, horn of plenty. Inopportune, untimely. Chi, vital energy. Fission, splitting. Xenophobia, fear of foreigners. Voluminous, large. Inherent. Innate. Illicit, unlawful. Innate, inborn. Doily. Is that small napkin? Apparently. Spangle. Glitter. Benevolence, kindness. Grope. It's not fumble. It's not starve. Grope. It's not whack or absorb either. Ground's fumble. Spermaceti. Easy. Fountainhead. Typify. Epitomize. Abound. Be plentiful. Abounding galore. Usurer. Moneylender. Troubadour. Reverie. Daydream. No, that was actually that one. Thought it was more like nostalgia. Nervy. Brash. Autogenous. Self-generated sounds about right. Bowdy. Is that obscene? Those spelled differently. Could be counterfeit too. Pustule. Pimp. Subvert, undermine. Disservice. Harm. Catholic. What? Catholic? Or Catholic? Sounds like cathartic. That means something. Is it universal? I need a lifeline. Apparently it's universal. Prestidigitation. Seems like sleight of hand. Almost clicked on the wrong thing. Succinct, concise. Fritter. Squander. I messed up. Carbine is a rifle. Intercede. Mediate. Pax. I have no idea. Fortuity. Chance event. Ideate. Imagine. Remiss. I thought that was like upset. Swarthy. Negligent. Cocky. Receptive. This is negligent. Lascivious. No idea. Sounds like lewd. Countermand. Revoke. Estimable. Estimable. Deprave. Would be corrupt. Snooty. Elitist. What up, Gabby Zek? Gnandromorph. Feel better now. Going to assume this means hermaphrodite. Agog. Oligarchy. This doesn't have anything to do with Agog, but I still want to pick one of these. Excited. Okay. Genuflect. Retract. Kneel and bow. Huh. Glyph is a symbol. Farrier. 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 Alright. Sanctify. Consecrate. Reprehension. Blame. Abilians. Enthusiast. Lowbrow. What? What's the difference? Tenable. EP. I'm gonna assume that that's a sword. Anarchic, lawless. Relic. Argue stubbornly or embarrass. Comfort. I have no idea what that means. Napery. Servier. Fraught. Fraught, 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 fraught. Leading. Oh, that's kind of what I meant by interfering. Flagellation. Whip. Well, how do I know that? Vermiform. Worm-shaped. Millionaire. Is it like the farrier? Or is it a breath freshener? It is like a farrier. That seems like a fake word. But it also sounds like tiny organism. Indecorous. Unseemly. Decimate. Oh, disseminate. Spread. Subjugate. Abuse. Conquer. What's the difference? Sort of the same thing. Conquering someone is abusive. Polynosis. Braggadocio. Boasting. Oakum. That is not what equity means, but I know what I'm trying to say. Equity is equal outcomes. So they would say. And equality is equal opportunity. Not fairness at all. Ingratiate. Oh, is it to threaten or gain favor? No. What up, Gabby? Pallid. What's pallid mean? You think it's haphazard as well? Pallid, luscious, pallid, pallid. one, pallid, haphazard, pallid, responsible. Kind of sounds like responsible. Or luscious. I think there's other words for luscious. There's other words for responsible too. One with haphazard. It's whatever that means. Parable. Allegory. You give mod. Hell yeah, man. Gotta be active. Tryst. Or tryst. Sounds like crazy. Rendezvous. Opulent. I think that means wealth. Geniality. Affableness. Idyllic. Pastoral. Posy. I assume that's more so bouquet. Prowl. That's not being active, you left. I'm gonna say no. Emendation. Sounds like correction, but it could be wet nurse. What the hell's wet nurse? Huh. I guess it is like amend. Ouster. Ouster. Is that like a verb? Or not a verb? Colbert. Drain. It's the only one that makes sense. Jilt. Grape. Reject. Dramaturge. Convocation. Jaunt. 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 Find out. Neologism. Brachyteris. Brachyteris. Shortly. Magnanimous. Generous. Plain song. Side of bacon. Contiguous. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. YMCA. Contiguous. Sounds like adjacent. Wonton. Wonton would mean unrestrained. Jingoist. Militaristic patriot. Like a vigilante. This is completely different. Wistful. 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 Wistful is either informed or modest. Wistful. Wistfully. Wistfully sounds like wise. Pensive. It means shy. Patina. That sounds like coding. Blight. Disease. Tout. Promote. Peel. Me and my computer screen's almost 30 is the tablet I took test on. Oh. Reproach. Blame. Clamor. What? Devaricate. Sounds like branch off. Disparaging. Derogatory. Couth. Is it refined or nutritious? circinate. Forthwith, immediately, scrupulous. That would be like conscientious. Aseptic would be sterile. Why am I off of the camera? Concisely, briefly. Stratum. I guess that's the layer. Roll or round. Equanimity. Equanimity. Grief. Sounds like an implosion, right? Equanimity. Equanimity means it's probably composure. Animus. Afraid. Brawl. Languor. Sounds like sluggish. Gauntlet. Glove. Interminable. Endless. Asceticism. I don't know. Self-denial. Alright. We did it, boys. We did it. We did it. Red Ice TV is live. I can pop that out and watch it. That out and watch it. Oh boy.
Here it's almost what 7 then already, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's what are we then with 1 a.m. Central European Time. So my apologies for that, but whatever. We're here. We're doing it live. Damn it. There was reality was too much storage to add in. Too much to try to cover here today, and too much to add in. So we'll see how much we can get to. And I don't want to sit there for 3 hours today because I know your time is valuable. I know some people like the long streams, though, so don't get me wrong.
Nobody's
I actually enjoy doing them too, but we'll try to keep it around 2 hours. But a lot of important things to cover here today. But yeah, Odyssey was, I couldn't create, I couldn't edit and update the existing domain, odyssey.com/redicetv/live. We are going out on that link right there, /live, but it's like under the old title, I think. So, oh well, we'll see what that's all about. I was gonna try to just keep one like URL that we live stream to, but that now seems to be an issue, and we have to create a unique one every single time. So right now that's under, people are watching under the Prince Philip The Last Flashback Friday show, under that title, right? But so anyway, I'll sort that out later. Not a big issue, just one of those things. But yeah, otherwise, tons of things to go into here today. And I wanted to stick on Odyssey just right at the beginning here. Yeah, so it's showing Prince Philip. It's showing the Odyssey page there, but whatever. Let's check this out real quick here, and then we'll get to some good stuff here. But so Odyssey is doing a little swap thing. I guess we can do a little Odyssey crypto news thing here right in the beginning. check this out. Let me pull this up here first. So you can see that could help, right? Check out this here. This is pretty interesting. Just a short video on this here.
Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you a cool new feature that makes purchasing credits a whole lot easier. So from the home screen, you will want to click on your wallet and hit the...
Imagine getting credits. Ooh. Privation. Need. Wet. Tease jokingly. Stimulate. I don't know. Okay. Bowl. Yeah.
Because Odyssey tokens, library tokens, have been a little difficult, I think, in some places to buy and stuff like that. So this is great. Obviously, you can just do a swap in case you want some library tokens. Now, apparently, and I'm going to start doing this more. We have massed quite a bit of tokens just by publishing content, people watching it, and things like that, which is great. It's kind of similar as the Brave browser BAT token, which is also a great asset, by the way. It's a great way that people can help and tip and donate, too, by the way. We have both our websites are verified, Red Ice TV, RedIceMembers.com, so you can just click up on a little triangle if you use the Brave browser. And if you've used it long enough, you amass some tokens, and then you can tip to creators and stuff like that. But so that's what you can do through library as well. And apparently, if you kind of put in more library tokens as you upload new videos or make a live stream, for example, now that's apparently pushed more to the front, I think, of the system itself. So that's something you can actually help boost our content by putting in some library tokens on a video and stuff like that too. So a lot of fun stuff, a lot of things to expand on when it comes to possibilities regarding Odyssey /library. So that's some cool news there for once. But all right. So anyway, a couple of ways you can join in. I think the entropy chat is up and running. Let me just cast an eye on that. Yep, I see a couple over there. So I'll get to those in a moment. That's entropystream.live/redice, and then revert back to that A in the lower third. Why does it do that? I thought I saved that. It's annoying. I think it was the same thing last time as well. Oh, I gotta click on it. That's why. Red Ice TV, a couple of ways you can join.
Henrik, you're so silly.
Over there joining us. We are on Trovo, and we're still boomers on the what do you call it? The mana. Is it the mana or gems or what is it over on Trovo? But I appreciate everyone joining us over there too. It's good to have you here. So however you're tuning in, Odyssey, DLive, Trovo, Library, or Odyssey, I should say, or of course VK. We got VK as well, and Float in a number of other places. All right, let me do these real quick, and then we'll move into some of the topics here. Let me see here. Conrad Kirsch with a 5. Thank you, Conrad. His Ashley Babbitt's murder walked free today. I have the story for later. It's pretty crazy stuff. And no wrongdoing was found despite her being unarmed and clearly no threat. We must not forget her name. Her murder was dismissed because she was white, plain and simple. I don't discount that for a second. And of course, she's also an undesirables, part of one of the undesirables, right? Because of the fact of her what she was doing, and but she's part of this the new terrorist labeled class in America and stuff like that, right? So that's part of it. And I think it did. I think that came in twice, Conrad.
Same thing.
Actually, 3 times. That's really weird. Okay, I don't know if that was intention, Conrad, but I'll have to refund you on those 2 other ones. You sent it 1, 2, 3 times. Either I'm seeing it weird because the next chat actually says. Yeah, Connor Kerr saying, is Entropy acting weird for anyone else? Okay, yeah, apparently it's, I don't know if let me know if you pay that 3 times and I'll give those back to you. That's weird. But if not, I guess it's just a glitch, you know. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate that. Lycan Warrior says, after outcry, Vice removes images, adding smiles to Khmer Rouge victims. What the hell? MSM trying to rewrite history. It's so disgusting. I have to copy that and add that in. That's crazy. Smiles to Khmer Rouge, which of course is one of the big commie genocides, right? Let me pull that up real quick. That could be interesting. Something on the fly here. All right, let me see. You can't see that now. There we go. So we have a little bit of lag on that one. Is that what's happening? Let me see. Let me mark something here. No, it's pretty okay. Okay, no, that's not lag. Just whatever. Just weird day today. After outcry, Vice removes images adding smiles to Khmer Rouge victims. Is this... Why the fuck would they do something like this? Cambodia condemns images published by U.S. media group Vice featuring newly colorized photographs of the Khmer Rouge killing fields victims, saying the images were an insult to the dead because some mugshots had been altered to add smiles. Vice removed the article and photos later on Sunday, saying they did not meet its editorial standard and it was investigating. The artist behind the work, Matt Lowry, declined to comment. In the article published on Friday, Lowry said the project to colorize images from the notorious Tu Zlang prison, or S21, aimed to humanize the 14,000 Cambodians executed and tortured there. It's that, but it was worth it. It was a good time to be there. Look at how much they're smiling. However, the article caused a backlash on social media for comparison with the original black and white photos, showed that some of the subjects were smiling only in Lowry's colored images. The Vice article did not contain the original images. To play around by using technology to put makeup on victims of S21 is a very grave insult to the souls of the victims of genocide, exiled Cambodian politician Mu Sosha wrote on Twitter. Holy shit, this is incredible. They're doing this. What again is it's some gay op when Vice does things like that. If we can make them smile, maybe it will lessen the impact a little bit. Great article there. Holy smokes. Thank you for sending that. I appreciate that. Very interesting. B on Entropy says Ashley Babbitt is guilty of enacting whiteness. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, I have that story later too. And we kind of put it in perspective to some of the other things that's happened, not least with the 20-year-old in Minnesota. There's new chimpanzees there and stuff like that. Crazy stuff, right?
Lotion. All
right, I'm going to do a couple on DLive here real quick. VPFM is hosting. Thank you for that. Always good to see you guys. Make sure you follow DLive.tv/VPFM. Cashley, Cashley, I think it is, 98 with a Ninja Guinea. Thank you so much for that. It says, love y'all. Thank you for the support. RoboThink with a diamond. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's dive into some of the main topics that we have here from today. Lots to get to, so we'll try to speed through some of this here. So apparently, just tons of shootings, right? The last couple of days, there's more than I can keep track of. It's like, it begs the question, right? Biden's back in office and there's mass shootings. There's, I know there's like 2, I think, over the weekend or earlier in the late last week, which we just missed to cover altogether. That was just kind of under the rug. But here's another one. Maryland, shooter from high elevation opens fire on police officers in Gaithersburg, Maryland. An unknown person reportedly opened fire on police from an elevated position Wednesday. They were called to North Summit Avenue for a parking hazard around 3 p.m. local. Interesting. So obviously someone is setting them up, trying to shoot at them. But that's fine. It's not a problem. It's totally not an anti-cop kind of rhetoric in the mainstream media that's leading to these kinds of shootings or anything like that. That would just be silly. Also, good old Bernie Madoff dies in prison here. I think this is today. He's behind one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. I always thought it was interesting that he got caught, sure. But it's always interesting that they sold him out. There's plenty of these guys
still thinking Fox
that they
News
could target in the same way, and somehow they kind of managed to sneak under the radar or whatever. He probably was just one guy who was thrown to the wolves, so to speak. They sold him out. Maybe there's some other reason on the back end. Let's see if there's any good video here. Is it USA Today? Yeah. Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff dies in prison. A Bureau of Prison spokeswoman said he passed away from natural causes, old age. I thought wasn't it when Prince Philip died? It was some of the press releases and articles said there is yet to be a cause of death that's been declared. Right? It's like he's 99 years old. Maybe that has something to do with it, right? But in this case, I guess it's just natural causes, i.e., old age, right? The former investment financier had been battling kidney disease. What a shame. The judge who sentenced Madoff to 150 years in prison said he intended for Madoff to die there after costing thousands of victims billions of dollars in a decades-long Ponzi scheme. Madoff's lawyer also unsuccessfully sought to commutation of his sentence from then President Donald Trump. I'm surprised they didn't give it to him. His ethnic background, Madoff. Madoff was 82. Did I say 86? Okay, 82.
Madoff.
Great loss to the
Bernie
world.
Madoff dies in prison. Interesting.
All right, let's dive into this issue here then with the shooting in Minnesota. The female officer who was Kim. What was her name again? Kim Potter, I think. Kim Potter, who immediately I think she. I forget if she quit or if they suspended her. Then she quit, and then she had to go in hiding. Basically, the same thing, right? She's been charged with murder now, of course. Here's some of the. Let's just take a look at this video because that's the backstory of what happened. But it's amazing how much they include in the video of what kind of guy Dante Wright was,
smelly,
and why he was stopped. It's not.
Dante.
They're making it seem that this white woman, just waiting for an opportunity to shoot blacks, right? So she stops this guy with a black partner, and she mistakenly, goes for the gun as opposed to the taser, right? But that was all a cover. It was just to be able to shoot a black kid. That was a dream she had all along. That's kind of the narrative right now. But anyway, let's take a look at the video framing this here.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us as we start another week together here. It is a difficult, heavy start to the week. That deadly school shooting, what we're learning right now is going on. But we're going.
Yeah, that's right. There was another. Where was that again? Was it Kentucky or something like that? I forget. But there's like there's school shootings every other day, and it's
that means
just, we're back.
We're going to begin tonight with the police body cam now released after the death of a young black man, a young father outside Minneapolis.
Again, a young black man, a young father, right? That's totally not a skew here in terms of it's not. Imagine this was a white person, it wouldn't be this coverage of it, obviously, right? But it would be like, well, he was a criminal. He was he did violate the law. It was a warrant out for his arrest and these kinds of things, right? Which Dante Wright had. It was a warrant out for his arrest. He was being pulled over. I forget what the reason was, but he made a mistake. He did something wrong, and so they stopped him, and then he sort of squirms out of the cop's grip, and there's a warrant out for his arrest, and all these things came up, and they still try to push, just like they did with St. George, right?
Kind of sounds like
Floyd. That this is somehow a stand-up individual of the community.
Graveyard.
We can't. The world can't do without him, right?
Happened during a traffic stop yesterday afternoon, and tonight authorities now say they believe the female officer, a senior officer on the force, mistook her gun for her taser. The family
big conspiracy. That's what it was.
Tonight, a curfew is now in place. That police body cam video showing Dante Wright outside his car. Then you can see him trying to get back inside the car. He does get back inside. You can hear one.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like complaining.
I'm sorry. What do you mean? How? Okay, he's trying to get back in the car, and he managed to get back in the car. You meaning he's resisting arrest and try to flee the scene? Is that what you're saying? As far as I know, that's a crime in and of itself, right?
Dante Wright outside his car. Then you can see him trying to get back inside the car. He does get back inside. You can hear one officer saying, "I'll tase you." She then says, "Taser, taser," then firing a shot from her handgun instead. Dante Wright driving a few blocks before crashing into another car. Paramedics arriving on the scene where he was declared dead. As word spread, protesters gathered, police and riot gear.
What a shame, what a shame.
After dark, police lobbing flashbangs.
Another criminal dead.
Running. Dante Wright's mother tonight saying he called her during the traffic stop, and amid her heartbreak, she's now calling for calm. President Biden today saying the pain in that community is real, it is serious, in his words, calling for peace and calm and for a thorough investigation. Tonight, that officer on administrative leave, and ABC's Stephanie Ramos leads us off from the scene just outside Minneapolis, and a warning that this video is difficult.
Tonight, new body camera video showing the moment a Minnesota officer fatally shot 20-year-old Dante Wright. Police say the female officer, a veteran on the force, accidentally discharged a gun instead of a taser, killing the father of a 2-year-old.
It is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet. This was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
The incident beginning just before 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, when authorities say Wright was pulled over for an expired vehicle registration outside of Minneapolis. Wright's girlfriend
so no reason
also
whatsoever
in the car. According to the Brooklyn Center Police Department, the officers ran Wright's name through their system, discovering there was a warrant out for his arrest. Court records show that warrant was issued after Wright failed to appear in court earlier this month, following charges of possessing a firearm without a permit and running away from law enforcement.
It's amazing that they're, I mean, it's still, there's like mass protests and like outrage over this. I mean, not that it, you know, the shooting or whatever, sure. I mean, it was a mistake, right? But the way that they're spinning this, that it's like he was a good boy. He didn't do anything wrong, right? He was an upstanding member of the community and stuff like that. And it's like, well, he had warrants, he had packing heat illegally. He was running away from law enforcement. He's trying to get out of their grip. He's trying to flee the scene. He could have killed someone just driving away after being shot, and he crashed, I think, into another car. This is crazy. And it's over these individuals that is outrage and riot.
It's like a retard.
Enforcement. Police say on Sunday, Ryan was trying to get back into the vehicle as officers attempted to apprehend him. The officer warning, "I'll tase ya." Then she pulls a firearm,
a lot younger than 20.
firing a shot at Wright. The car driving for several blocks before crashing into another vehicle. Wright was pronounced dead at the scene. The medical examiner identifying Wright's cause of death as a gunshot wound to the chest. Tonight, the officer who pulled the trigger is on administrative leave, pending an independent investigation.
We cannot afford to make mistakes that lead to the loss of life, and so I do fully support releasing the officer of her duties.
Largesse.
Overnight, protests erupting. Tensions already high in the city with the trial of Derek Chauvin just 10 miles away.
Our hearts are aching right now. We are in pain right now.
Generosity.
And we recognize that this couldn't have happened at a worse time.
President Biden weighing in.
We do know that the anger, pain, and trauma that exists in the black community in that environment is real.
His mom was white.
It's consequential. We should listen to Dante's mom, who is calling for peace and calm.
Shut up, Biden.
Dante's mother,
it's been calm for a few days now.
I don't want all of this. I just want my baby home. That's all I want. I want him to be home.
So it was a spectacle after this. I mean, sure, obviously, if you had a child that's dead, I'm not saying that, but it's like the T-shirts are already printed. There's lawyers and attorneys and spokespeople, and like every one of these are turning into political opportunities. That's just a fact, yeah.
Everybody out here chanting and
constantly
would be like.
And Stephanie Ramos with us tonight from Brooklyn.
All right, you get the idea. So here's Kim Potter. Arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter in fatal shooting of Dante Wright. There was some other footage, of course, that was coming out of the young gentleman, like this one, some gun waving here on camera.
Who wants to see that shit? I can't put that big already tried. Suffuse. Sounds like.
All right, so you there's some Tucker auto starting here, but you get the idea, right? So, fantastic, right?
Yo, Derek, he's a fucking. He was a fucking stone.
Just your regular, normal, young, innocent kid. It was nothing. It was nothing. No reason really for the
didn't do nothing,
or they shouldn't have done that, and that was wrong. And they need to let these people go. We need to open up the prisons. And we need to put COVID deniers in jail, and those who are fleeing
COVID deniers.
That's the
Shut
real
up,
criminals. And of course, and the racists, because that's also the real pandemic, right? So yeah, many arrested after a third night of demonstrations. I would like to call that riots, folks, over Dante Wright's killing accidentally by law enforcement. So we don't want to spend too much time on that, to be honest, but you get the idea, right? And we'll compare that to Ashley Babbitt and that on her front. let me go back and entry here real quick. Cockfree Zone says, I feel so demoralized with the constant anti-white culture and these women, Ashley Babbitt and the woman officer in Minnesota, being thrown under the bus. Us men need to stand up and protect these women, but what can we do? Yeah, it's hard right now. It's whatever you would do, it would be.
I guess. I mean, suspension.
We need to change the culture, and we need to be in a place where this doesn't happen. But I mean, basically, there's one way of looking at this, and it's that these communities need to have people, just like Bernie Sanders said, right, in that interview. With, and we play the clip. This is months and months ago now, probably over a year ago. He did an interview with Cardi B.
The only one that's as large.
And he's hitting the nail on the head because he's talking about how important it is that these communities are policed by people that look like them. There was some other shooting at the time, right? And so basically the solution to this is peaceful and amicable separation. Now, there could be some areas where they're gung-ho about multiculturalism and mixing diversity and all this kind of stuff, and that's fine. Let them do that. But not every country in the West needs to be like this. Not every state in the U.S. needs to be like this. There could be options, and so those who think that it's racist white people that are targeting non-whites intentionally because we're white supremacist KKK people, isn't it better to have our own areas so whatever happens, if someone is being pulled over, it's people that look like them, and you can never whip out the racist card, right? So that's what many people are advocating for: ethnic separation, and people who want to live in their own communities with their own people to avoid these horrific, situations, basically, right? And you can always use the racist card. So even if this truly, which I believe was an accident, and maybe she wasn't the best police officer, who knows, right? Kim Potter, maybe she was. It was an honest mistake. Whatever, however it turned out. Whatever the real story is, she shouldn't be in that situation. I don't even think women should be cops, to be honest, because of all these things, right? Maybe we've played out clips where someone is drawing a weapon or a knife or something like that and going after, and some of the women cops get, they get panic stricken, and they don't back up their male police officer counterpart, right? So that's one proposed solution, but that's of course horrific. And how can you say this and stuff like that? Although granted, many of these other groups now, the non-white ethnic groups, are beginning to advocate for that, and that seems to be completely fine. And they should be able to do that. They in fact should have their own spaces, right? We're seeing it with things like student unions, or there's spaces on colleges or universities that are just for them and things like that. So they can have it, and I think that's good, and I think they should have that. But if white people say the same thing, that's a moral outrage, and it's basically another Holocaust if we propose that, right? So that's out the window, unfortunately.
For the dead.
But yeah, thank you, Cuthbert. Don't be demoralized. We just have to sit back and watch these kinds of things in a way.
I don't know.
These are martyrs in a way, right? Not sure what to call it, but the double standards and the hypocrisy is glaring, and it's getting more and more clear every day. And at least what we can do is to use these tragedies to our advantage, so that we can get to a point where they don't happen anymore, right? At least do that. At least try to use the pain and the injustice of this to creating a better society for all of us. For all of us. So here's the story about Babbitt here that Cockfrison and others already mentioned in chat. Officer who killed Ashley Babbitt at Capitol riot will not be charged. So that's fine. It's fine to kill her. She was unarmed, but there's no riots, there's no protests, there's no spur-outs, there's nothing, right? The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia and the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice will not pursue criminal charges against the U.S. Capitol Police officer involved in the fatal shooting of 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt. The office announced today. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia's Public Corruption and Civil Rights Section and the Civil Rights Division, with the Metropolitan Police Department's Internal Affairs Division, conducted a thorough investigation of Miss Babbitt's shooting. Officials examined video footage posted on social media, statements from the officer involved, and other officers and witnesses to the events, physical evidence from the scene of the shooting, and the result of an autopsy. Based on that investigation, officials determined that there is insufficient evidence to support a criminal prosecution. Officials from IAD informed a representative of Mrs. Babbitt's family today of this determination. So, all right, there you go. No problem. Is this the footage of the shooting? Yeah, here's more of this, right? Feds open excessive force investigation over fatal shooting. Now, I think also there was it wasn't released, I think, of who did the shooting, right? That's their identity have been protected, as far as I remember. I could be wrong on that. I haven't followed every single development in this story, but yeah, it's pretty crazy that they do this. And which leads us into the next story, which is very interesting and very obvious too, by the way. Let me do a couple of these real quick here. B on Entropy says medical errors are the third leading cause of death in the U.S. How often are medical employees tried for manslaughter? I think hardly ever, I believe. And isn't that incredible? A whole industry that's the third leading cause of deaths. What's the term again? There's like a technical term for it. I forget what it's called, but yeah, basically like negligence of doctors or even prescribing wrong pills and things like that people die of. And these are acceptable casualties in the society that we live in. And in many regards, that's not an industry that needs to be overhauled or examined or anything like that. Big pharma, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. That's an interesting point, B. Thank you for that. Lycan Warrior says, pretty soon cops won't be allowed to arrest blacks at all. Well, that's where I think this is going, right? It's open up the prisons. If there are non-white people that have been arrested, even if it's for rape or violent crime or manslaughter, robberies, whatever it is, it's going to be advocating for just completely open the prisons up. And those spots at the prisons are going to be reserved for people who believe in conspiracy theories or people who
blacks are already basically
think it's excessive government overreach when it comes to the scamdemic and things like this of this nature, right? Or a supposed white supremacist said a mean word online or something like that. That's who prisons are going to be reserved for. Wolves as well joins us over on Entropy Stream. Good to see you. Says, as blackpilling as this is, we must remember they're getting cocky. But still remember, if the situation were hopeless, their propaganda would be unnecessary. That's right. Yeah, they're getting hubris. I have a couple of stories like that, too, related to the Tucker situation and ADL and stuff like that. Now, we covered that in the Weekend Warrior show, by the way. And let me put in a little bit of a plug for that. We did a thorough coverage of the situation and even the ADL's hypocrisy. We recorded that Sunday. Up Monday, and then Monday night, Tucker went on to basically do the same coverage that we did about of the ADL and stuff like that, which is glorious. I mean, it's amazing, it's fantastic. But check that out. We went through a lot of that material and some other good stuff as well. But yeah, we mentioned that too. That like they're getting ballsy. I mean, to a fault. I mean, where they're not understanding that it's like if you pull back now.